Hey everyone, I'm Mark, and this is my favorite laptop right now. It's the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i. It is a gaming laptop, and you can certainly make it look like a gaming laptop with all of the RGB lighting, but you can turn them off when it's time to do some work. This is also great for content creation. Let's get on with the review. So the design doesn't scream gaming laptop. For example, the Legion logo doesn't light up. The branding is very subtle. The body is a mixture of aluminum and polymer. It feels like a premium laptop. I don't notice creaks, bends, or get the feeling of a low build quality. This Legion Pro 7i has a 16-inch 2560 by 1600 display with 16:10 aspect ratio and 240Hz variable refresh rate. I really like this display. Colors are not too contrasty or saturated, and the refresh rate is the highest I've experienced so far, and the scrolling and animations just look very smooth. Above the display is the 1080p camera with what people might call a reverse notch that sticks out and helps with opening the lid. Unfortunately, this doesn't include face unlock for Windows Hello, also doesn't include a fingerprint scanner. The left side has a USB-A port and a Thunderbolt 4 port. You can also see some of the cooling vents here. The right side has the audio jack, electronic switch for the camera, and another USB-A port. Not really a fan of these USB-A ports, would prefer to see more USB-C. The back has more ports. There's Ethernet, USB-C DisplayPort with power delivery, HDMI 2.1, and a couple more USB-A ports. Cooling vents are also visible here. I wish there was an SD card reader. It'd make transferring files more convenient for content creators. Let's now talk about the keyboard. Not really a fan of having a numpad. Only time I find it useful really is when I enter my PIN to log in. The additional buttons also mean more accidental key presses. For example, I press the numlock key by accident when I actually want to hit the backspace button. The key travel and clickability are great. Feels good to type with this keyboard, other than me not being a fan of having the numpad. The trackpad is very responsive to touch and clicks, not as spacious as the MacBooks, but I mostly use an external mouse whenever using the laptop anyway. The front lip of the laptop is very cool. There's a customizable lighting strip that can pulse, animate, or stay static. Whatever your preference, you can change this in the Lenovo Vantage app. This Lenovo Legion Pro 7i has the 13th gen Intel Core i9 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080. I'm not a huge gamer, but I do play Call of Duty Warzone and have absolutely no issues with performance. I even connect this to a 4K 144Hz gaming monitor. No issues there either. Same with content creation. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and 4K videos shot with my Sony camera plays smoothly in the timeline and render without any problems. These are just things I don't have to worry about. Just one glitch or bug that I do notice is that Microsoft Teams would crash sometimes. Also the fans, while they're not super loud, I can hear them when editing videos or playing games. This is something that MacBook users don't experience. You don't hear fans when editing videos on a Mac. On the flip side, you can't really play games on Mac. The speakers are fine. I'm not an audiophile, but I have nothing to complain about here. You can adjust the sound settings in the Lenovo Vantage app, and there's a specific section for the speakers. The branding is a little confusing though. The keyboard pad has branding that says audio by Harman, and then in the audio settings, there's branding for Nahimic by SteelSeries. You can optimize the sounds depending on whether you're watching a movie, listening to music, gaming, or leaving it on auto, which I usually do. Speaking of the Vantage app, there are settings that let you overclock the GPU as well as adjust the CPU and fan performance when it detects gameplay. I like this because it doesn't require a lot of work. It's as simple as turning on or off a switch. The Legion Pro 7i starts at about $2,000, and you already get the fast display, Intel Core i9, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB storage, and RTX 4070, and the RGB keyboard with that, which actually sounds like a good deal. You can go for a better graphics card, more RAM, and more storage, which of course increases the cost. Overall, this is a great laptop for work and play. You don't have to worry about performance for both gaming and content creation. Solid build quality, reasonable pricing too. Just a few things that are missing, like I mentioned earlier, no SD card reader, no Windows Hello. You'll also hear fan noise when editing and gaming, but that's kind of expected when using PCs right now. Battery life isn't that great, but I'm usually plugged in when using this laptop. When unplugged, I would see less than 3 hours battery life, so you always need to carry that charger just in case. The power brick is a bit smaller than the previous Lenovo laptops I've used, but it's still a significant size in your bag. If you're creating content and also want to play games like Call of Duty during your break, then getting a PC laptop like the Legion Pro 7i is a great choice. If you're not planning on gaming, I'd suggest getting something else and maybe even getting a MacBook instead. That's all for now. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching.